Before I begin, I want to say thank you. Whoa. Wait.
I think the Democratic Party has lost all legitimacy in our communities. I have felt deeply betrayed.
I think that this is a really serious electoral issue for him, and it is solely based on his policies that he has gotten to this point.
The country watched as Michigan's uncommitted movement gained over 100,000 votes in its Democratic primary to protest how President Biden has handled the war in Gaza, now approaching its 6th month. Since then, other states have seen a rise in uncommitted votes at their respective Democratic primaries, highlighting a potential re-election threat for Biden. In Wisconsin, the uncommitted option on the ballot is called uninstructed.
How will you be voting on April 2nd?
I'll be voting uninstructed.
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 I plan on voting uninstructed.
You can put your hazards on and then we'll just unload the chairs. So we're gonna just kind of lay them out, and then the podium here.
Hala Ahmed is the spokesperson for the Listen to Wisconsin campaign. She's getting ready for the campaign's official launch 2 weeks before the state's April 2nd primary.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
A lot of critics have been saying a vote for uncommitted would be effectively a vote for Trump. Do you agree with that?
No, I definitely don't agree with that premise, but I think it's, again, centering November rather than centering right now. If in November we still don't have a ceasefire, I don't know what will be left in Gaza, and that's our focus in this campaign.
So far, the uncommitted movements won over 20 delegates to send to the Democratic National Convention in August, giving the movement an opportunity to keep the ceasefire message going beyond the primaries. And in the Wisconsin primary, they're pushing to get at least 20,000 votes, the same number that won Biden the state back in 2020.
Wisconsinites have had enough. Democracy looks like listening to a majority of Americans who support a ceasefire.
A March Gallup poll found that 55% of Americans disapprove of Israel's military actions in Gaza. But that number is even higher at 63% when just looking at voters between the ages of 18 and 34.
Hey, have you heard of the Vote Uninstructed campaign? Have you guys heard about the Uninstructed campaign?
About an hour and a half away, 22-year-old graduate student Dahlia Saba is at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, also working to get the word out about the uninstructed movement.
And so, would you be down to vote uninstructed?
Yeah.
Cool.
Why flyering? Do you think that's the best way to get out to students?
I think it's important for students to see that, this is a campaign that's being run by students and by young people.
The uninstructed campaign is really a way of sending a message. It is a way for us to quantify, this is how many people care about this issue. We are Democrats, we are voting in the Democratic primary. These are your constituents, and your policy is alienating them.
So would you be willing to vote uninstructed?
Yeah, I would definitely be interested.
Okay.
As a Palestinian American with family currently in Gaza, Dahlia says this movement is personal for her.
For me, at least, I felt a lot of cognitive dissonance of going to school, going to class, and acting like everything is normal when every day I see videos of the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. And that made me feel very powerless.
Who here has phone banked with uninstructed before? Nobody. Cool. That's exciting.
But organizing around this, trying to fight for justice, and especially through this uninstructed campaign, has allowed me to feel some more power and feel like I am actually working towards something.
I feel like it can sometimes be more scary to talk to people you know than strangers.
Several students and community members on Madison's campus have endorsed the uninstructed movement. Tonight, some have gathered to phone bank and pitch to Wisconsin voters.
This is a part of the effort to keep Trump out. We're letting Biden know what he needs to do to get votes in November.
I think Wisconsin also gives the opportunity to show that this is not an identity-based issue.
You would? Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I think there was a tendency to paint this as something that primarily came only from Arab Americans and Muslim Americans.
Oh my God, this is so cute.
But I mean, if we look at the percentage of people in Ann Arbor, for example, who voted uncommitted in Michigan, this shows that this is also something that's very important to young voters, which of course comprise such an important part of the Democratic Party's coalition.
I think history will be on our side, but for now, If I want to participate in this democracy, the uninstructed campaign is my only option. And it's the only option that can give me a pathway back into being heard and being seen and feeling human to these people.
This is a clear message that without a drastic change in this administration's policies with regards to Gaza, I don't see a pathway to victory in November.